let's talk about the speculative news now.
Yeah.
The speculative news being Declan Rice. Obviously,
Mm.
it's no secret that Arsenal are in the hunt for him. Some would say Arsenal are the front runners for
Yeah.
Declan Rice, and I've seen some places go as far as say Declan Rice has a gentleman's agreement with Arsenal
Mm.
that he's coming. I mean, I've never believed in a gentleman's agreement when Arsenal's involved. That's for sure.
Yeah, definitely not.
Because you end up hearing those Arsene Wenger stories of old.
Oh my
I
God.
nearly signed this guy.
I knew it.
just ask him how close I was to him signing.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, so I mean, I just get the deal done is what we say. It looks like Arsenal, most outlets are reporting that once West Ham have had their Europa Conference League final, Arsenal will launch this 90 million bid. This is being reported. We've heard in recent times, obviously it was like Arsenal, Man U, Chelsea, City. The big names in the league are after Declan Rice, and we've heard in recent times Bayern Munich have joined the fray of people that are interested in signing Declan Rice. Now, Arsenal have Champions League. You know, Chelsea don't, Liverpool don't, City do, United do, Bayern do. So I guess that makes them a front runner among some teams. I think Newcastle's name is in this hat of signing Declan Rice as well. Do you think Arsenal can beat some of these teams? I mean, I'm more or less pointing at Bayern Munich, who obviously have great stature in the German league, win the league every year without fail.
We'll be in the Champions League every year.
Be in the Champions League every year. And Man City obviously perennial winners at this point. Does Arsenal have what it takes to convince Declan Rice to come to Arsenal and don't look at the other guys that are interested? This is the best place for you.
I think we have the best. I think if you if you presented the best case, I think we would tick more boxes. You know, we're in London. You know, east to north. You know, ain't that bad. You know, in terms of journey time, he might not have to move. I believe he's got young children or a young child. That might be, again, kind of knock away the moving to Germany potentially, or going to Manchester or wherever, Newcastle. It's not a given that we'll be in the same position next season, but the signs are showing that we'll definitely be in and around it. We've got the Champions League football, a big test for him. There is a position, a starting position, opening up for him here. You know, I believe, let it be known that he's like a number one priority as well. You know, you're hearing United potentially signing Mount for like 60, 70 million. You know, I know they've got more financial power than us, but again, that's quite a ways to go. And then if you're going to try and chuck another 100 on Declan Rice or so on around that area, Newcastle again, our team's better than theirs. You know, we've got a better squad. You know, you've got players from England that you know there. I just think we've got a better package that we can sell to him. And I think we've got the best manager out of, maybe Tuchel. You know, he's a very good manager. I quite like him. But yeah, I just feel like the overall case we can present is just better. You know, I'm not here for the gentleman's agreement. I think we'll be okay on the wages in terms of what we can offer him. And yeah, I know he doesn't really have any ties to Arsenal, but Chelsea are in the mud. And I don't know if he'd even want to go back there. I think they released him when he was like 14 and such. And, you know, he's gone over to West Ham and all that stuff. So United, again, I don't even know if he'd be better than some of their players, but do they need a player like him in their position? I don't know. No, neither do I really care. Newcastle, again, it'd be good, but at the same time, you just don't know where they'll be, you know, what will happen, because their team, again, while they've done very well and they've been investing smartly, again, you just don't know where they'll be. What if another manager comes in, doesn't like the look of him, or, you know, he's on the peripheral, but I believe I would have an idea for him. He can slot into that left 8 role. He can, you know, Partey, you know, as good as he can be, could potentially be on his way out. Yeah, I think we should. If I was Rice, I wouldn't be looking anywhere else but Arsenal. The only thing I guess is just more in the boardroom level, which is, you know, how much we're going to pay West Ham to get the signature. I can't see any problem with the wages. Slap on him a good 4-year deal. And yeah, you can come and hold that number 41 if you want over here, or whatever he's wearing on his back. I just think it's the right time as well. And if he goes and wins the trophy as well, You know, I think it just makes it easier for him to just be like, yeah, next stage of my career now. You know, so yeah.
I mean, that's why it's very, you know, whether they win the Conference League or they don't, to be honest, it's the end of the era. Like, West Ham can't afford for him to leave for free next season. We're talking about Saliba leaving. Yeah. West Ham cannot afford that.
Yeah, no.
Like, because there'll be nothing for them. They're not even going to be in Conference League again next season, are they?
No, if they win, they'll be in the Europa League.
Europa League, exactly. Yeah. So it's really, you know, time to cash out for them. Yeah. Them winning or losing the Conference League, of course. Like, if they win it, then all the better. He's won trophy now with West Ham. He can move on knowing that, you know, he's done what he could as captain over there. He's left his mark, if you like. If he doesn't, well, he knows like it wasn't meant to be. They were in the semi-final of the same competition last season as well. You know, this could have been 2 Conference Leagues back to back, really, or whatever. Like, so yeah, like you said, and I think that's the best way to put it. The package at Arsenal right now is outstanding.
Yeah.
It's outstanding for someone, especially like Declan Rice.
Yeah.
You know, we've got an English core there around.
Exactly.
You mentioned obviously Saka. He's spoken highly of in the past. Him and Eddie Nketiah were in that Chelsea team as youths together, so they know each other very well. You know, and more so, Declan Rice, as good as he is and has come to be in the last 2-3 years, right? Respectfully, he hasn't had a manager that can take him to the next level.
That's an excellent point, 100%, because he hasn't. There's no one who's actually coached anything new into his game or really taken the time out to be like, I think you could be better here. I think he's just like, go and do whatever you want, Declan. You know, because he's the star man.
Like, honestly, David Moyes has a type of football and he's playing in a certain type of team. So as good as what we're seeing from him there within that system, he can obviously, if coached correctly, do a lot more. He's 24 years old. Like, we signed Declan Rice on a 4-5 year contract. We're sorted until he is, you know, literally, you know, coming out of his prime or right in the middle of his prime as a player. Like, and this is what it's about. We have to future-proof ourselves. We're looking at a Premier League, because I don't really believe he'll go to Bayern Munich. Like, even if Arsenal don't get him, I don't think Bayern Munich's really a choice for him. You know, United got peas and they're coming back up again, just how we have been. Man City obviously got money. Chelsea, it may not be him for this season, but, you know, Chelsea, with the kind of money they have, can just pluck someone from anywhere at any point. Newcastle, richest club in the world. Like, Liverpool, actively looking to better their midfield. Although Declan Rice hasn't really come up in their conversation, their shopping list. Yeah, but, you know, they could get him at any time. Like, we have to get this done, like, because these other teams are swarming around, like, and the playing field is getting more and more even every year. Like you said, the package is best at Arsenal. Arteta can make this guy go to another level. The best I've seen Declan Rice, obviously I don't see him much for West Ham, but is it the Euros that England reached the final? Yeah,
he was.
That campaign, I said, nah, this guy is class.
Bro. And, you know, I've never, even when he was linked to us, I think it was more, I never really see him as a, like, I guess because I'm biased, because Arsenal typically go for good technical players. And he is more of a big space player. He's more of a carrier, you know, bombastic running in, sliding tackles and all that sort of stuff. So I was kind of just like, is he going to be able to hang? But for me, I'm thinking, when you're in that West Ham midfield and you've got Thomas Souček or whatever his name is to your right or left, I kind of rate Paqueta. But again, his first season in the Prem, and then you get rotated in with these other, like, mediocre players, you know, quote unquote. If you can now say, okay, don't worry about all that. We've got players who are doing their own thing. You just focus on this and really get Declan to really hone in on like a way of playing. and not be trying to do everything, trying to score goals and defending and carrying the ball 50 yards and just being like, yeah, just do this for us. Yeah, I've really bought into him now. I've just watched some more videos on YouTube and things like that and just seeing what he can do. And if we're able to just add a bit more of a better attacking outlet and being a player who could, play some more intricate 1-2s and things like that. Yeah, the package at Arsenal, again, he could, if City put their hat in it and, you go City, you're probably guaranteed 2 trophies a season, or you're going to be in and there and abouts, So again, you can go there, you're probably going to pick up a Prem, pick up an FA Cup, maybe a Champions League. But I think if you're just thinking about something which is going to, your legacy, because he could come to Arsenal and be an outstanding midfielder, maybe a midfielder who is remembered for years after, if we get him on like a good 4 or 5 year deal. I think that's better than going to City. Don't get me wrong, trophies is currency. Don't get me wrong. And again, I'm being crazy biased. I won't even hide it. But I just think the project is better. Pep's not going to be there for much longer. There'll be conversations that if he cops this Champions League, that all of a sudden he might be thinking about his future, So, and with these charges coming, if Premier League say, yeah, we're docking you 30 points, you know what I mean? He's not going to stay. And then City, regardless, their team is still good. Are players going to want to stay with that sort of thing? We don't know what that will look like for them. But irregardless, I just think we've got the best package. We're a team on the ascendancy. Again, nothing's written in stone, but we look good. The brand, the way Arsenal have looked, the way we play football, I think he could just really connect to our fans. And he's got a good personality from what I see from online and everything like that. So he'll just be great and just give us some more steel in midfield, especially with the reports of Xhaka going.
Which is unfortunate because that could have been someone as a good kind of mentor to have in the team alongside Declan. I mean, I'll just wrap up the conversation on this. Will Arsenal beat the rest of those teams, the competition, to Declan Rice? Arsenal need to beat the rest of those teams to Declan Rice's signature, because I say we all of these clubs involved, they've got 90 million, 100 million to spend this summer. You see what I mean? On a centre midfielder, clearly. Wage wise, they've all got whatever it takes as well.
Yeah.
The statement it would make for Arsenal to drop that kind of money on a player.
Yeah.
England international. He's gonna walk into our team and start and be very good. He already knows the Premier League. He's just changing his shirt. He's gonna be playing amongst much better players. And he's gonna receive a much better level of coaching. What it means more than anything for Arsenal to get this done is a statement of intent. Yeah. So more so will Arsenal beat these other clubs to Declan's signature. Arsenal needs to beat these other clubs to just kind of show others like, okay, Arsenal ain't missing around.
We're not messing around. We're not saying, oh yeah, that was nice last season. We'll see what happens this season. We're going for the belly, and we need to 100%. I mean, is there an amount which is too much for you?
No, it's not my money.
Okay.
I don't care. No, honestly speaking, like they're already banding around 90 million, which I mean, England international always give you about 20 million on top of whatever your true price is. He's
not worth 90 million, point blank. We know that. But again, you got the English tax, you got the state of the market. It is what it is.
If I'm honest though, like he's not too far off it. If this Caicedo is going for 70 mil, Rice might be about 80, 85 then. Let's be honest, like if I mean, we can only judge it by now. The conversation is Caicedo worth 70 mil, but like you see what I mean. You just have to judge it by the closest kind of comparables. But Arsenal need to get this done. The shirts that Arsenal can sell with Rice on the back as well. I don't even want to get into the commercial side of it all, but it just makes sense. Get it done.